With all the gloom and doom that was the 12 months that just went by, what we could really use is a nice pick-me-up. And what better than a solid wallop of horsepower to make that happen? Well, we're back at our home away from home, the Madras Motor Racetrack, for another one of our track days. We've got a wide variety of vehicles at our disposal. And well, while the vehicles may be new, two things have remained constant and consistent: this track and the man behind the wheel. So hi Narain, welcome to another track day. We're a little further apart than usual, but what's really cool is the lineup. It's a variety of cars as always, but now, like last year, we're seeing more and more EVs. We've got two this time. So tell us what you think about the lineup.
I think as always I look forward to the Autocar track day. It's been a little bit longer this time, the wait, because of the pandemic. Nevertheless, we are here. As always, we have a great bunch of cars, a good lineup. EVs have come into the fray now for the last couple of years. It'll be interesting to see the Tata Nexon EV and the ZS EV going up against the Hyundai Kona. So we have a good reference lap.
Yeah, but also on the far end of the spectrum, we have the opposite end is V8, big twin turbo V8s.
Yeah, we have the three big brands, BMW, Mercedes and Audi, who have the big V8s, twin turbos, and you know, it will be interesting again to see how they go head to head, and I'm really looking forward to this, and you know, let's have some fun.
So well, that's a lot to look forward to, so let's not waste any more time. Let's head over to the pits, put in the equipment and lay down some lap times. Welcome everyone as Bridgestone presents Autocar India Track Day 2021. What was to follow was a day of breakneck speeds and precision driving, and for that comes the usual host of preparation. Tire pressures checked and bumped up slightly for the track, satellite timing gear calibrated and installed, and of course, lots and lots of cameras. But this year there was an added layer of preparation. Masks all around was the protocol, and every car was sanitized thoroughly before use. It was a new experience for sure, but that didn't stop the lap times from flying in. And speaking of those lap times, each year the new laps get added to our long-running leaderboard, which this year has crossed 138 cars. First car on the board, the Tata Nexon EV. Now, a crossover EV is not the ideal car for the track. Worse still, one whose top speed is capped at 120 kph. But 2019's Hyundai Kona Electric did impress us, and the Nexon does have an inherently good handling setup, so we just had to know. Turns out it wasn't too bad, posting a 2 minute 18.72 lap time and leaving Narain pretty impressed.
Quite a little fun car, electric car. A lot of fun factors built into the dynamics of the car. Plus, you know, it was quite fast, quite enjoyable on the track. Yeah, it looks like the car can, you know, go a lot faster, but obviously it's limited to 120. So hence you know, we lose a lot of time on the straights, but you know, still the 218, so it's not too bad.
Next up, the other EV of the day, the MG ZS EV. And though it has way more torque than the Nexon and no 120 kph limiter, it only beat it by half a second. That's because while it obliterated the straights, it was simply too soft in the corners, posting a time of 2 minutes 18.19 seconds.
Dynamically, there's nothing to talk about. It's really soft, I suppose, for ride, but even then, even so, it's too soft in my opinion. It has a lot more torque, but it doesn't, you know, you can't use it the way you want, because there's always the electronic systems which cut in and zaps the power completely. So it doesn't feel that accelerating in terms of, you know, being an electric vehicle, you expect more. Yeah. That feeling is not there.
Now it's time to go turbo, starting with the new 120 horsepower Hyundai i20 and its quick shifting DCT gearbox. With its new chassis and powertrain, it's much nicer to drive than the old i20. But it's a bit of a mixed bag when driven on the track and posted a time of 2 minutes 16.60 seconds.
You have good, nice interiors, good quality of materials on this car. Driving position is quite nice. The automatic transmission seems to be working quite well, and that's all you need in a city going car. But on the racetrack, it's complete mismatch. So compared to the other 1 liter small turbocharged cars, it's up there, right up there. So nothing much to complain.
Up next, it may be over 10 years old now, but strong engines and great chassis are the reason Polos have always shone at our track days. This newest one, equipped with the new 110 horsepower 1 litre TSI engine and a manual gearbox, did a 2 minutes 14.50 seconds, just edging out the Baleno RS to become the fastest mass market hatch on our lapboard.
First impressions are very good for this category, this segment of car, but it's soft and behaves like a normal hatchback. But the strongest point is the engine for sure. Lap times are significantly faster than the similar Polo which we drove a couple of years ago.
Now, a Honda City with its tidy dynamics and rev-happy VTEC engine is always welcome at the track. This latest 5th generation model may have gotten bigger and more comfy, but it still managed to post an impressive 2 minutes 13.77.
So this is the new City. Of course, it has a very free revving engine, a VTEC engine. Honda is known for the VTECs, and engine is really phenomenal. For a small displacement, it produces quite a lot of power. So compared to the old City, yes, it is dynamically a little bit better and slightly quicker on the track as well. It's a solidly put together, and for a city runabout, it's a very good car.
From here on, it's a big leap into the lower twos, starting with the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe. So, what to make of BMW's first ever front-wheel drive sedan? Well, it actually did not disappoint on the handling front, even slipping into oversteer in the corners. Its real limiting factor was its diesel engine though, which simply didn't have the top-end grunt, and it posted a time of 2 minutes 08.79 seconds.
So these are one of the few front-wheel drive cars BMW manufacture, and I must say the handling is quite phenomenal for a front-wheel drive car. It lets you have a lot of fun. It oversteers quite a lot, and being front-wheel drive, it's easier to get it back and so on. So it's a very forgiving car. But the chassis, of course, can take a lot more power, and it's built for that, I suppose. But just the diesel doesn't do it at all.
Up next, the Audi Q2, and for something with a highish center of gravity, it sure handled impressively. Quattro all-wheel drive gives it a lot of grip on the track. The 2-liter petrol engine has plenty of punch, and it drives so tidily, you sort of forget it's an SUV. It just about beat out the BMW with a 2 minute 08.07 second time.
It's a nice little car, a lot of fun. Even with a higher CG on the track, it seems quite a lot of grip. And just for you to compare, it's slightly faster than the 2 Series in terms of lap time. But so for a car that is a little bit taller, I think it's not too bad. The Quattro system, the legendary system from Audi, is always quite fun to drive. Plus, it also gives you that little bit extra grip.
Then in came a car that's always punched above its weight at our track days, the Skoda Octavia RS. And while this new one does have 15 horsepower more than the previous version, what allowed it to be a full 3 seconds quicker was its new electromechanical front differential. It did a truly impressive 2 minutes 03.71 seconds.
Yes, it is. In terms of speed and lap times, it's a lot faster than the previous generation car, around 3 seconds, which is quite a jump. I like the seat bolstering, the flat bottom steering. The interiors are quite nice, very sporty. Yeah, so it has a differential, and it minimizes the wheel spin quite a lot. It's quite clever. So I suppose we've got the lap times from the differential as well.
Now brace yourselves folks, because it's all V8s and sub 2 minute times from here on in. Starting with the MercedesAMG C63 Coupe. It may have lost some power and 2 of its doors compared to the C63S sedan we tested a few years ago, but this is very much the compact V8 hooligan it has always been, and was around 2 seconds quicker, posting a 1 minute 57.28 seconds.
So the C63 Coupe, from a fun factor point of view, it is really high. I mean, you can have a lot of fun with it, and of course it's AMG put together, so the engineering is quite good as well, and dynamically it's good for what it can do. But ultimate lap times, it was lacking a little bit compared to even the Porsche Cayman and stuff.
Then it was time for the new second generation Audi RS7. With brutally strong power delivery from its twin-turbo 4-litre V8, it shrunk down every straight in the blink of an eye, although it was prone to a bit of understeer. It was easily faster than the previous version, however, posting a time of 1 minute 56.49 seconds.
I think the verdict is very simple. It's faster than the previous generation RS7 by quite a lot. I would say the only downside to it is the four-wheel drive system. When you push it, then it generates a lot of understeer, which doesn't translate into lap time, so you have to come off the throttle quite often. But nevertheless, it's a good car, a GT car. I would put it in that category.
And in the penultimate spot, the big blue MercedesAMG GT63 S 4-door. It's a big car, but amazingly, once you're on the move, it's so agile, some of its mass seems to magically evaporate. And like its sibling, the E63S, the air suspension helps it go faster on some of the uneven surfaces of the MMRT. It did an incredibly quick 1 minute 53.85 seconds.
I would say that dynamically it's on similar levels to the M8. Lot of front end grip, so you can place the car quite easily into the corner. I think this car is a little bit softer than the M8, so rides the bumps slightly better, but it gives away a significant amount of performance as well. Nevertheless, it's a AMG car, you can't go too wrong with it for sure.
And so, on to the quickest car of Track Day 2021, the BMW M8 Coupe. And what makes this feat even more impressive is that it's the standard car and not the stiffened, more powerful competition variant. Still, thanks to its 600 horsepower V8 and beautifully honed chassis, this luxurious GT car was able to go faster around the track than a Ferrari 488 Spider, posting an incredible 1 minute 50.58 seconds. Here's what Narain had to say.
Yeah, the M8 has been, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, I would say. Just to put it in perspective, it's around 6 seconds faster than a M5. So it's an incredible car, for something that is this big and full of luxury and made for cruising, and to come to a track and to do this time is unbelievable, really.
That is truly impressive stuff and a sledgehammer whack on which to end another exciting day at the track. The sun has now set on what was a rough year, but the future certainly looks bright ahead. Here's looking forward to even more horsepower at the next Autocar India Track Day.